After the Nepalese royal massacre that occurred on 1st June 2001 at the Narayan-Hithi Palace, India and Nepal's relations have not been steady. India shares a complicated relationship with Nepal. While Nepalese people have been given special rights in India, Indians don't enjoy the same in Nepal. Now the cracks between India and Nepal have begun to show at the government level too. Steadily increasing China's influence in the Himalayan Kingdom has added to India's woe. Nepal is headed for an election on 20th of November and it is crucial for India's point of view. We will explain you how. The Indian subcontinent is protected by the sea in the south and the Great Himalayas in the north. The Chinese army and the air force have very few points of access to India. In fact, most of the Chinese air forces and weapon system face altitude disadvantages. Himalaya is a great natural barrier between India and China, which works in India's favor. So it is logical to not let China invade the Himalayan barrier and influence India's next door neighbors. Remember how elections changed the tide in Sri Lanka? A pro-China government had handed over the ports to China and was responsible for leading Sri Lanka into the famous Chinese debt trap. After Nepal became a democracy in the year 2008, China realized that it has found a new way to exert its dominance in South Asia. The different communist parties in Nepal merged together, created an alliance and formed the government. By 2019, we had a Nepalese government under KP Oli who endorsed China's position on Taiwan. In 2020, Nepal claimed a part of India as theirs, close to the tri-junction between India, Nepal and China in Lipu Lake. And of course, KP Oli's closeness to the lady Chinese ambassador was also the talk of the town. So is India dwindling its thumb and doing nothing as China increases its influence? Since the collapse of Oli's communist coalition government, a lot has changed in Nepal. Like Belt and Road Initiative of China has met a roadblock, which Nepal has signed in the year 2017. It has condemned China's approach in Xinjiang, Tibet and Hong Kong. Another good news is the hydropower project in Nepal, which were worth billions of dollars, which have been shifted from the Chinese developers to the Indian companies. This is because India, as Nepal's principal buyer of exported electricity, apparently refused to buy the power produced by Chinese-built plants. On 2nd November, New Delhi agreed to buy 39 megawatts of electricity produced by the 24 megawatt Trishuli hydropower project and 15 megawatt Devi Ghat hydro project power, which were both constructed with India's assistance. India won't buy electricity from the West Seti hydro project if it is built by the Chinese companies, so I am going to give it to India. Prime Minister of Nepal, Sher Bahadur Deva said. India has also built a Buddhist center in Nepal, the purpose of which we had explained in one of our earlier videos, which you can watch here. Foreseeing the Nepalese elections, China invested a whopping $118 million in the Himalayan Kingdom under different names in August 2022. When asked about it, India's Ministry of External Affairs replied, "The Indian government always keeps an eye on any activity which impedes the defense and security of our country and takes required measures." The statement made it clear that India will leave no stone unturned in reducing China's influence in Nepal. Give us your feedback on what Nepal will do in its near future. Support India or China.